Welcome back, you guys. Your boy CK. Today, we're gonna see what happens if all the brothers in the NFL switch teams. Shout out to Frankie for my Facebook streams for this idea. I'm gonna be streaming right after this video goes live, so if you want to come through, link in the description. But yeah, today it's all about just brothers. If you want to see me do maybe all relatives in a future video, you know, cousins, things like that, then like the video. If you get enough likes, I'll make it happen. Now, even though Jason McCourty's currently a free agent, we're gonna use the last team these guys played for, and his was the Patriots alongside his brother. So in their case, they're just gonna switch positions. But in almost every other situation, let's just say some teams got a lot better. Now, I know a lot of you guys play MUT, and sometimes you don't feel like grinding to get the best team. So if you want to just buy some training or coins or players, head on over to MUTreserve.com. Use my code CK. And not only will you be rich one day, but you'll also get 15% off your order. Now, before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to J Custom Metals and Ryan for making me this amazing sign. I'll leave a link to their website in the description if you want to check them out. They do an amazing job. And this is my way of saying thank you. So, you know, go ahead and check them out and get a sign of your own. So as you can see, Stephon Diggs, former Buffalo Bill, now Dallas Cowboy, because his brother Trayvon Diggs was on the Cowboys and now he's going to be on the Buffalo Bills. Joey Bosa is now on the San Francisco 49ers. He switched places with Nick Bosa, his younger brother, who is now on the Chargers. The Buffalo Bills now have Trey Edmonds at running back and Terrell Edmonds at strong safety. Meanwhile, their brother Tremaine Edmonds is now on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ryan Glasgow has two brothers in the NFL. He used to play on the Saints, but now he's going to be on the Broncos. His brother Jordan Glasgow plays on the Colts. He's now going to be on the Saints. And now Graham Glasgow is going to be on the Colts. He used to play for the Broncos. Shaquill Griffin is currently a Jacksonville Jaguar in real life, but he's coming back to Seattle. And even though Shaquem Griffin's a free agent, the last team he played for was the Seahawks. So he switched teams with his brother and now he's on the Jaguars. Seeing Travis Kelce in a Philadelphia uniform is bittersweet because that means his brother, Jason Kelce, one of the best centers in the NFL, is now on the Kansas City Chiefs. Michael Kendrick's last team he played for was the football team, but now he switches places with his brother and he's on the Minnesota Vikings, which means the football team's front seven gets even better because now they have a 91 overall Eric Kendricks leading the way. The Raiders have lost a lot of linemen in the past month or so them getting Zach Martin from the Cowboys is going to help their team out a lot. And he's there because Nick Martin, current Las Vegas Raider in real life, is going to switch places with his brother, so now he's on the Dallas Cowboys. We've already been over the McCourty brothers, but here's Devin at CB, still 90 overall, and Jason's an 81 overall, so not much really changed. CJ Moore, former free safety for the Lions, is going to switch teams with his brother, so now he's on the Texans, and now his brother AJ Moore is going to be on the Detroit Lions. We're going to stay on Detroit because they have the Okwara brothers. They end up switching positions. Julian becomes a left end and Romeo becomes a right end. David Quisenberry is now a left tackle on the Chargers. He switched places with Scott Quisenberry, his brother, who's now on the Tennessee Titans. Jalen Watkins is now a strong safety for the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, his brother Sammy joins a stacked wide receiver corps in Los Angeles, and he's now playing for the Chargers. So Derek Watt is now an Arizona Cardinal, along with 93 overall X Factor TJ Watt. Meanwhile, the Steelers now have 95 overall JJ Watt. So we're going to simulate a season and see what kind of impact these brothers changing teams has on the NFL. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds and it's free. If you don't like the videos, you can always unsubscribe later. So Nick Bosa ended up leading the Chargers in sacks with 10. Meanwhile, his brother got 6 sacks for the Niners, third on their team. Trayvon ended up amassing 22 tackles for the Buffalo Bills. And his brother Stephon killed it for the Cowboys with 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. Terrell Edmonds ended up leading the Bills in tackling and tackles for loss. His brother Tremaine led the Steelers in tackling, so the Edmonds are just some tackling machines. Kendall Fuller ended up being 4th on the Broncos in tackling. He had a good season for them. His brother Kyle ended up 5th on the football team in tackling. He also had a good season. Jordan Glasgow on the Saints had 8 tackles on the season. The Colts O-line was so stacked that his brother Graham didn't even get playing time. And then their brother Ryan had half a sack and 5 tackles. Shaquill Griffin had a good season for the Seahawks. And his brother Shaquem also had a good season for the Jaguars. Jaguars. The Chiefs offense was happy with Jason Kelce's production, only 2 sacks allowed on the season. But the Eagles offense was even happier with Travis Kelce's production, a 1,000-yard season and 9 touchdowns. Eric Kendricks led the football team in a number of categories. He killed it. His brother only had 6 tackles on the season though. Zach Martin only allowed 1 sack and 1,100 snaps for the Raiders. Same with his brother Nick, 1 sack allowed in over 1,100 snaps. And Martin's kind of nice at blocking. As for the McCourty brothers, Devin at CB still had a good season. Same with Jason at free safety. AJ Moore had 9 tackles for the Lions. And his brother CJ didn't amass any stats, unfortunately, for the Texans. Julian Okwara didn't get much playing time for the Lions, but his brother Romeo had a really good season. Scott Quisenberry only played 2 downs for the Titans, but his brother David played over 1,000 and allowed 12 sacks on the season. However, that didn't stop Sammy from leading the Chargers in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Meanwhile, his brother Jalen got 3 tackles on the season for the Ravens. And then finally, TJ Watt ended up second on the Cardinals defense in sacks. His brother Derek had 2 touchdowns on the season, and their brother JJ Watt had 4.5 sacks for the Steelers. Eric Kendricks, the first one to show up in the awards. He ends up 7th for DPOY in the NFC. Stephon Diggs was 2nd for best wide receiver in the entire NFC. And Sammy Watkins ends up 6th for best wide receiver in the AFC. Bosa ends up as the 6th best D lineman in the AFC. So the Browns end up with the best record in the league. The Bills end up with a 14-2 record after getting some of the Edmonds brothers and Trayvon Diggs. So the Patriots brothers switching positions didn't really do their team any favors. They end up losing in the wild card round. The Cowboys losing Zach Martin didn't help them in the wild card round either. They lose 38-6. The Chiefs losing a wild card round as well with Jason Kelce at center. But the Bills and Trayvon Diggs end up making it all the way to the AFC Championship game where they lost to Jalen Watkins and the Baltimore Ravens. So he's the only brother in this video to make it all the way to the Super Bowl where his team ended up losing to the Chicago Bears. So there it is. That's what would happen if all the brothers in the NFL ended up switching teams. I kind of want to see what happened if we do cousins. So I need y'all to obliterate the like button if you want to go ahead and see that. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I am streaming right now, as I said before, so if you see this within the first few hours, come through, say what's up. But if not, have a good rest of your day.